5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Crew's turn to ban. Invictus Gaming's turn to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban.
And we're here with the first draft of this wonderful series between IG and Team Secret. Always a pleasure to watch Secret Draft, and we have a new panelist with us. You might have not seen her before. Her name is Sheepsticked. How are you doing? How are you feeling first time on panel here?
I'm feeling amazing. They let me know they don't have enough British talent yet, so they just have to fly me over quickly to fill that gap.
That's nice. Diversity is important. Then we also got Aoi. We've seen him before.
Invictus Gaming's turn to ban.
All right, well, we have a draft between Secret and IG. I am curious to know what you are expecting here of Secret, Mr. Aoi. Or IG, rather.
Yeah, so for both of them, I think Secret, I don't think they're really thinking they have to do anything out of their norm. I think they should feel like their normal play style matches up pretty well against IGs. We actually saw them sort of counter draft how they thought OG's playstyle was, which is generally a good sign for a team when you're feeling flexible enough to play multiple playstyles. As far as IG, I really liked what Insania said about they should feel like they should want to break down Secret's wall. Because if you think about IG as a team, they're very aggressive, and their style is to use that aggression. If you can't play your normal style against a team like Secret, like it's gonna feel bad, at least in the first game of a best of 3.
We start off, Sheep, with a Lion Mars combo. What do you think of this opener?
I actually like it a lot. I love Mars. He's one of my favorite heroes. He was looking a little bit shaky in the group stage at a very low win rate, but I think he's seen like this resurgence of teams like continuing to pick him and being really effective with him. Collapse especially, his Mars has been fantastic to see. We've seen it paired with Ios, but that's getting banned out this game. Lion, great hero, provides a lot of burst, which is nice when people are picking these heroes like Ench and Tide Hunter. I'm actually surprised because Tide and Elder Titan were not banned and have not been picked on either team when they have been very popular so far.
Maybe a first for the upper bracket feels like. And to add on to your point about Mars, I think you're right. It feels like he's been through a bit of a renaissance with the armlet build. It allows him to have some sustain in lane. It allows him to clear creep waves with one W, don't know the name as well. And
God's Rebuke.
God's Rebuke, thank you. And typically that hero's lack damage, but armlet has made up for that in a lot of ways. And as far as Lion, I feel like I've seen Kaka play Lion literally for 4 years, since he was on Niobe, the Ti10 Grand Finals. Was it 7? I think it was 7. Like, he's played Lion, and he's always looked good at it. IG style, I think, has always been to have these heroes who can group up early, run at you, and then when the opponent sort of splits them up to go on the side lanes, Kaka on some Lion or Nex is always there ready to catch them. I remember in the Singapore major, like, Avid was on Puck, and I'm like, oh, Avid Puck, he never dies. And Kaka was always there ready to catch him in perfect spellcasting.
I want to ask about the Ench pick though, because this is not the first time that Secret first faces an Ench, but it is the first time that it's not against an ET. So what's the logic behind the pick here, you think?
I like Ench a lot because she secures your lanes. She provides a lot to a draft actually. She's, you can send your creeps like down lanes to push. She's really good at she could rotate onto mid and provide help support there to like secure war runes, especially if your mid is like one of these spirits that really wants the ball refill. I like her a lot for that. She's just a great hero that Poppy has played a lot so far this tournament already, so I think it's like comfort and good for them.
Yeah, to add on to that, I think Enchantress, she's sort of like a misunderstood 5 hero. I think a lot of teams, when they play their Enchantress, it's a very low farm hero, might have some Tranquilboots or Treads and nothing else. Poppy this tournament, he has 321 GPM. He's higher GPM player than Yapster, probably the highest position 5 GPM, I didn't check that. So, Enchantress with items, she's incredibly well skilled. And when you think of these heroes at frontline, you think of the Ogres, the Banes, but Enchantress, if you pop that heal, take the 15 talent, have a couple items, she's a better tank than all of them. I think we saw that the last series where DY, he was just running in on Enchantress and he was giving vision. They saw her, Jesus Razor to just blow him up. I think Poppy wants to do the exact same thing here.
interesting. You know, actually, Quincy Crew did that a lot in the season with MSS. They would put him on Enchantress, and that's exactly what they would do. Tank, and use your body to stop smoke, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think Enchantress, she's, like, you mentioned for MSS, it was a 4 position. For Secret, they get to basically play 2 4 positions this tournament. It's just how they control the map. Because a lot of teams, they're sweeping around the map. You consolidate all your farm into your cores. But often what happens when you do that is that your support sort of get left behind. Puppy and Secret in general, they play a more even style in terms of farm. I mean, they're still good to carry really farmed. But in the process of holding their side of the map, playing some defensive wards, you tend to like leave supports in lanes or farming like some dangerous camps more often.
Well, what could we be expecting here, Sheep? What could we be seeing here for IG next? You have the Lion Mars. You said you like this combo, but where is this draft leaning towards in your opinion?
Well, since they have a lot of aggression with these heroes already, I mean, we've seen how popular the spirits have been this TI already. Storm getting banned out. That does leave Void Spirit, who's been quite contested, I would say, through this TI, so maybe they'll pick it up in the next round. I think I really like Team Spirit's supports already. I mean, Monkey can flex onto any role, but like talking about how greedy they are with how they like to play their supports, I think Monkey is like amazing for that as a 4 if they want to go that route, because he gives so much vision through jumping through the trees. They get good wards down, you know, that lets them play this aggression on the map to like farm in dangerous spots more safely. I think the supports like of how well Eng can farm, like those two complement each other, and I think it also like is good against what IG want to do. If they can scale out like these moves and stop things, then like that's gonna be really good to stop that. Lina also quite good. I think Eden's been playing it quite a lot this TI so far, and between Lion and Lina, no one's gonna be left alive. That's an amazing nuke.
I really like what you said about the vision coming in from Team Secret's heroes, because when you said that, it reminded me like how I think of Team Secret. They're always about accumulating vision and accumulating information, which you get from vision, like Monkey King, Enchantress keeps shoving waves, what both these heroes can do if they decide to support them, and then reacting to that information to make good decisions. I think since they picked Lina mid, I was thinking, okay, I was going to say they would not put Monkey King mid, but I like this from Team Secret. Like they're instantly countering the hero that they know where it's going. I think Lina this tournament, maybe you can play her 4, but honestly, I don't think I haven't seen it this tournament. And I used to spam Lina 4 a lot, and she feels god awful this patch because you can't keep up your fiery soul stacks with LSA. They made the cooldown 13 seconds on LSA at level 1. So right now, Team Secret, they have damage, they have some like lane shove, some vision and annoyance. I think right now they need to consolidate their team fight, because if we look at the two, if Secret wants to form a wall, hold their jungle, it's looking a little bit spooky here. When Mark goes in an arena, like what's your real reaction here, right?
We discussed the Lina TA matchup though for a second, because I know that obviously that's a very obvious counter. You can stop Dragon Save, stop Light Strike Array, but I know that with the attack speed and the way that Lina's being played right now, the matchup doesn't seem so one-sided as it used to be. Yeah,
I would say Lina looks decent here. Like it can go either way. If you build the attack damage on Lina, I love that build. Lots of people have been doing it. You can burst through this Enchantress. You can burst through this Templar Assassin, get through her refraction charges. I personally think it's, you know, it can go either way as the game progresses. I do think though that Team Secret getting this TA, getting this Venger they also just picked up is going to allow this TA to kind of snowball through this game pretty hard. It looks like an all-in to like help her. So it makes Lina's game pretty hard, because if Tia gets a good start, gets her dagger, so on, jumping this Lina, she's a squishy hero for a long time, man.
Yeah, so we've been seeing Lina's go for like Caval's BKB Silver Edge almost every game. That's no plus armor. And IG, they've actually reacted to that lack of physical mitigation. First you have the Mars, you can like maybe absorb some of this with Bork, but now they pick up the Winter Wyvern. This is, I think it's a really good pick, because right now, like, before that pick I felt like Lina was a bit vulnerable. She might still be vulnerable because Lion and Winter Wyvern support, so I don't think you can deal with the aggression of Puppy's Enchantress, but they might be able to, I don't know what their plan is for that. Maybe their plan is just pressure the lanes really hard. They do have last pick, so if they pick something that puts a lot of pressure on what I'm assuming is a Zai Ventress Spirit, not the best laner, then I could see them like trying to hold Yapstra's Monkey King and Puppy's Enchantress to the side lanes.
What's the logic behind the offlane Vengeance Spirit? We theorized this pick would be very present at the TI, but I think it's the first time we see it.
I think Venge got picked a couple times. I saw position 1. Yeah, someone played at position 1. I think it was Secret.
I think it was
Secret played at position 1 with a sniper, right? Was that
Secret or
Secret OG? I don't remember who that was.
I do remember that game.
Yeah, they had a lot of 4-mass armor heroes and sniper.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I don't even know it's position 3 Venge for sure.
Okay,
but
it could be flexed.
The single target save is really good here because Mars and Lion. Mars, you think of this big AoE arena, but honestly, he's a single target hero. You're just spearing one hero after your arena. And Lion, if you hex on, you can save them. The buff that made Venge extremely popular when she was meta, maybe a few months ago, was that when you swap your ally, you give them damage mitigation, and also the Aghanim Scepter became really strong once you couldn't destroy it with a hex. It becomes a strong illusion.
You concerned though because Secret currently have very little team fight. They have a Monkey King. He probably on support, but there is nothing that really keeps people in the Monkey ult. So I feel like Team Secret need to bridge that gap with their last pick, and like TA and Venge are really awkward because they're they can be cores, but then if Vengeful is off lane, then you're taking away a off lane, which is where most of the stuns and controlling heroes come from. So I don't know. Secret's draft seems a little bit awkward right now.
Yeah, I completely agree because usually the ways that you do a team fight are either you break down those heroes in lanes, or you sort of master team fight so you can still take engagements. The last way you can do it is you can sort of play like these sort of more spontaneous small skirmishes, pick them off, which I think is what Team Secret's sort of going for. They're going for into a snowball lineup. I don't mind it simply because of Enchantress. I think this is the only hero in Dota right now that lets you snowball off of lanes into like a commanding map position. It's just everything about this hero. You get creeps, you can take control of runes, you can gank to mid, and then you can push towers. There's snowballs like that. And honestly, I don't know what where Team Secret's heroes are going. Wait, there's just a Venge 1, right? Again, I'm pretty sure.
Or it could be Monkey King 1 and then
Monkey King 1,
yeah.
And
then ET4.
Honestly, they can do anything based on what IG pick last.
Honestly,
which is interesting.
And they have a great minus armor draft now with Elder Titan, right? The amount of physical damage is insane.
It's fully committed onto it though, and IG have a Wyvern, which is one of the greatest heroes in the game against physical damage.
But their physical damage is weird, right?
Yeah.
It comes from like minus armor, which Winter's Curse doesn't really help against. I mean, the Coda base will be extremely good, but it's not like one of those physical damage lineups where any Winter's Curse feels good.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. Team Secret's draft, it's not really what we've traditionally seen this tournament, but Team Secret, they're like the team that's most confident in their own ideas always.
Yep.
And I think if they think it is what's right, like why would I just want to see it. I don't even want to question like what its weaknesses are. I want to see how they apply its strengths.
Fair enough. So then, considering its strengths, what would you expect here for IG? What is it that they need to do to mitigate this?
For IG?
It doesn't have to be a prediction, but what are you looking for in this next hero?
Probably just a carry that can match the tempo of Secret. I think Secret's lineup is they're going to take a Rodan. Yeah, Weaver perfect.
That's a good call, because if they tried to go for a scale, they could get run over, right? And Chandra's to Avenge. I think your idea is spot on here.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that Weaver a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so it is a 3 Venge, a 1 Monkey King. I did not know what I was talking about, because they can do anything.
And then a TA mid, right? I presume?
Yeah, TA mid. The 1 Monkey King is a bit more team fight, and Outer Titan, I mean, this is the last phase Outer Titan. I think Fog is having a little tiff right now.
Right. Not get too happy here. That hero's getting nerfed after TI.
Yes.
Fog will never see him again.
Well, there's one person that we do need to see before we get right into the game. As you guys know, this is the famous segment, The Last Word, and we're going to go on with BSJ's best friend, Jenkins.
didn't know we were going to get that kind of throw. It was a great way to start the cast.
It was fantastic. I feel like when you walk outside your building and there's that guy sitting there and he just needs to tell you everything, but, you know.
I'm usually the Jenkins side of that, so I can relate, yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Well, we have a great game number 1 here for you guys. We've got Invictus Gaming versus Secret, and like Jenkins was saying, they have a lot of burst potential. They've got a lot of gank potential, things that IG does exceptionally well, but then Secret, you know, it's Secret. They have just some of the craziest things that they can play, move. You know, we've got the offlane Venge that we've seen a bit of on and off. It's Zai. Who knows what we're going to see?
I really liked the Venge this game. They did it as a response likely to the immobile Lina. If Lina gets out of position, she tends to have a really bad time, so being able to swap him out of position is dangerous. And as we pointed out in the drafting stage, having both Lion and Alina, it's a lot of burst damage and a lot of spells to go on one guy. And if that person is Vengeful Spirit with Ags, Venge is going to respawn, and then you're like, haha, your ultimates are gone. Now we're going to be strong. With that said, though, I still agree with what Jenkins said. Those pickoffs on the side lanes are going to be really satisfactory at the very minimum. But the Venge swap is still a potential solution here for Secret. So if they cast their spells amazingly, yeah, their lineup can absolutely work, and I can't wait to see if it does.
All right, well, we get the usual scuffle over here, just getting into position, trying to ensure that they get those bounty runes. You can hear everyone's very excited for this match. Love to hear that crowd. And we're going to see some fighting break out right off the bat, but Yapster will be able to take this bottom rune.
All right, nothing too extreme at the moment. Just kidding, they're going to fight some more.
Got to get those value clicks off, man.
I mean, this is big against Yapsor here. He went for a boot start, so any extra regen harass at the very beginning of the laning stage is going to hurt his first 20 seconds or so. That could make the difference in whether or not you get as many denies, and therefore who hits level 2 faster. That could miss a kill time. These things might sound small, but they're really, really important in these super high level games where everybody makes the tiniest mistakes.
See, now we've got that triple view. Mid lane going about what we expected here. Nisha being able to harass very well with these side blades. A little bit of movement up in the top lane too. What are things that we want to be looking for here, Purge?
Well, I think one of the bigger questions is how well Puppey is going to do on the Enchantress. It's a hero that was more or less ignored the entire group stage. He was seen as a very strong hero earlier on in the year, but all of a sudden, she's kind of popping back into it, which is a little bit surprising to me. So can Puppey get a lot of harassment done? He's going to start things off with a Centaur creep. He's got a limited time here, but this can be a great way to stabilize the lane if they can get a kill, or at least some good harass.
Checking in over on the mid lane right now. It's looking a little not so great here for Nisha. Look at the last hits of 9th, 8th.
Oh, this is so big.
Top lane, there it is. There's the first blood as Puppey gets the kill on Kafka.
It was really cool how he did that, actually. He brought the Centaur, and keep in mind, you only have 30 seconds from when you transform and take over this neutral, so you kept the Centaur more south than his hero, and then when he showed, oh, hi, I'm here, they boundless strike from farther away. That sets up the Centaur stun, then they get the body block. It was excellently executed there by Team Secret.
Puppey is the king of positioning, and definitely not a stranger to playing this particular hero. Bottom lane, though, I like how they've went and they blocked off the side camp. I think that's very important whenever you're playing against an Elder Titan.
Yeah, don't give them the free stacks or damage here. And once again, Puppey grabs another Centaur. We'll see if they can get another swing top. Be a little surprised, but fight bottom 2.
Just harassing a little bit back and forth. Nothing too hard committal here. Yeah, so just have to be careful, though. He's taking a decent amount of harass.
Puppey just controlling this lane. He gets another D ward here. This one's going to be blocking his large camp, so it's going to take Kaka a lot more resources to prevent Puppey from lane controlling, pulling all that good stuff. Mutomba Man last hitting is going fine, but in the mid lane, oof, Emo is doing a really good 16-8 versus 8-1 on Nisha's TA. It's going to be hard to catch up if he doesn't get some stacks going.
Yeah, it was definitely a situation when we saw the harass coming out early, but Emo just, really focused up, hitting all those creeps, making sure he's getting the last hits. And clearly that has paid off. I'll be interested to see too if the way, because IG is a really interesting team, the way that they like to move about the map. A lot of the times when they're creating stacks, they usually, instead of, some teams that go off into different lanes to try to create pressure elsewhere, they usually play around that area. So do you think we're going to see something very similar to that, or are they going to try to be more aggressive, try to take away stacks from the TA?
Definitely be aggressive while they're taking stacks if possible. Secret can mitigate this a little bit by trying to push lanes all the time, because then it's going to create two windows for IG. Yes, they could go be aggressive and try to contest TA, but they also need to defend their towers from dying. And if they don't contribute a lot of heroes to pushing those lanes, it's a really tough decision to make.
Oh, Fly sitting very low here. He's going to have to go pop those one charges. Yaps are hunting. He's got the spirit.
It's got a new stun.
And they have a fresh stun. They'll turn and put some damage over onto Ollie. But we'll back off. Oh, they can't sort out the salve.
Nicely done by Zai there. That's a costly one. Do they have any more? No, just a tango. That's going to cost Fly some last hits here. It's a good time for Zai to play aggressive, get as many trades as possible. With that said, Yaptor shifts over to try to help with the water runes. That's going to guarantee it for Nisha, so they will be helping him out a little bit, help him catch up. And in fact, he's basically caught up now. 20 last hits versus the 23 on the Lina, so not bad for Nisha.
Definitely two very skilled players over in this mid lane. Bottom lane, a lot of harass coming out over onto Kaka. They'll throw out the Hex. They've got the net though from the troll. Turn around, nice earth spike, Kaka. So they were trying to get the body blocks off, but not going to be able to succeed.
But still, they're making good pressure up there. Puppy is not super highly leveled, which is going to make Matoma Man get his levels more faster. JT pushing him back.
Good earth spike again, but they'll put some more harass over onto JT.
He got the stun. He's going to heal off of this creep wave most likely. There
it is.
Very nice. And he went for 3 points in Jingu Mastery, so he wants as much lifesteal as possible. And that's probably because he knows that Puppy's not always going to be in the lane. So making sure that he can lane sustain without his support coming over is going to be really helpful.
It's a pretty even matchup now here in the mid lane. 29 and 14 over on Lina, 28 and 5 over on Nisha's TA. Have some beautiful stacks though, and Puppy, he's creeping in. He has an idea that these are being made.
This is the best thing to do. Oh, stacks, cool. I can pick the best neutral creep that I want. And that takes a lot of the gold out of the pile. Fly getting his eye kill though.
Indeed he is.
And honestly,
good moves, though.
It's very normal for Venge 3 to die at least like once or twice in the lane stage. It's not easy.
What about this Puppy though? That's a Laguna Blade. LSA doesn't quite connect. Puppy hiding over on the tree line, putting up the impetus. He is going to fall, but we have that high five coming out over here. Nisha gets the kill on Emo.
A very big juke by Puppy. That forces Emo to commit and gets him that easy return kill. So excellent trade once again for Secret, but the game is still even.
Indeed it is. Wouldn't be surprised to see some more movement going around those stacks over in the top area.
At the very least, they're going to keep blocking these camps, move Enchantress over to limit the large camp, or they can start getting aggressive on the map. And while Puppy's accomplished a lot, he is still level 2, which can have its downsides. You know, it's a little bit harder to make as much happen for you to be survivable if you have that trouble. Matoma Man getting a great trade off top once again, gets a Jingu stack, harasses JT, but...
Zai, the bottom lane, they're going for the dive. It's going to be Ollie who collects on this kill.
Thinking about diving mid though. All the supports stay there.
Thinking about a trap. Gets popped. The center. Stop coming out. Pulls Emo into place. They're going for the cold embrace. A follow up though with the earth spike. And still a dead Kaka. And they get another one. They get Emo. Ollie running for his life. Another trap pop. And he's going to be the last one to fall in the mid lane.
Man, I was a second away from criticizing Secret for their supports not being bottom and for Venge dying twice in a row, but you saw the payoff there so hard. Puppy comes in, lands a monster 2-man war stop. I didn't even know the stun went that wide, but he gets 2 heroes, and Matoma Man rotated. Remember I said before he got that Jingu stack? He brought that buff all the way to the mid lane for this gank, and it gave him that huge damage burst against Lina. And now they just get the tier 1 tower in 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
That's incredible.
It's going to open up quite a bit of options for them. You know they're going to want to take that Roche early. That's Secret Dota, baby. That's how they play.
This is the dangerous thing about these successful early game heroes, is that it just creates this weird tempo and puts IG in a bad place. It does restrict Nisha's farm normally, but this guy's great at jungling and clearing stacks, so he doesn't really care that much if he sort of loses his mid lane for a while, because now he's just going to farm really aggressively on the other side of the map, and we'll see how long it takes for Secret to take this safe lane tier tower for IG.
Give me a prediction, Perch. How long do you think this is going to take? Because they're making those moves right here, right now. They've got the vision. They're poking away at Fly.
Ooh, Ollie's going to try to slow it down, but...
Ollie, this is not good for you, my friend. Matsu just whacking away. Yaps are following. They have the play, but they have the tree jump. Hopping right back down again. They want this kill, and it's going to Matoma Man. Bottom lane, more pressure being placed on Fly. They want this tower, and they're pushing it hard.
They're getting some damage done, but it's a little bit tough. Little skeletons are certainly going to help. but diving the Weaver is a problematic thing. Even like Vengeful Spirit has some issues because you can not land the stun if he goes invisible. You have to commit a dust, but sometimes he's going to time-lapse dodge things. It's a little hard for them to secure that kill on the Weaver, and as a result, not as easy for them to force his tower as much as they'd like it to. And on the other side of the map, JT's had a free lane for the last couple of minutes ever since Matu left, but the bright side is that he's going this armlet build, and it takes him some time to get it online. So even though his net worth is going to be good, in some ways IG would rather him just have a fast blink dagger.
Matumba Man landing over on the Kaka, the sleep coming through, a couple more clicks, and down he'll go, fly now, and Oral the Perk, he's not going to be able to, manages to jump over. And the back line, there's the arena, they're just clicking away over onto Zai. Swap comes out though, this is looking like a squished bug as Matu gets himself a double kill. They're looking for more, they find JT over on the corner, thanks to his trap, the pin over to the tree. JT, he's trying to stay alive, but there's too many heroes and too much damage, and eventually, Ollie saving him for just a moment, throwing out that embrace, but he will fall, and Ollie will fall as well.
It is so hard for IG to defend against these fights because Secret is just collapsing together perfectly. It all started with Matumba Man's stun, sets up the guaranteed Yapsor stun that buys them more time. He gets Jingu's pickups, eventually just cleans up the team. And look at that, the tower on the other side of the map is just now dying to Emo. He's died 2 times so far this game off of those early dives mid. He hasn't had as much time to just clear the mid wave and then go do other things. And the tempo is just going to accelerate now. The enemy jungle is gone. Secret's going to start playing super aggressive and not going to give IG any space.
That is a huge problem. This is exactly how Secret likes to play. They like to get this advantage. They like to choke out their opponents when they are just having difficulty trying to catch up. The flip side of that, IG, this is the thing, right? We get these team metas. When teams start playing against each other frequently in terms of like boot camps and whatnot, you get used to one another. And a big thing that IG likes to do are these ganks. The pickoffs, they like burst damage, and clearly Secret has done their homework because they are just playing so tightly together.
But the thing is, I think, and one of the things that restricts him on the ganks, Lion's obviously amazing, but he had a rough lane stage. He just hit 6 with the tome. And they're going to go for a kill, see if they can get it. But the other issue is they picked Wyvern. Wyvern is a great pick for this to counter against Secret's heroes, but not the best ganking hero and not the greatest laning hero. And that's part of the reason they've lost this laning stage by a moderate amount. But we'll see if JT can get a pick off here.
Zai sitting very far back, wants absolutely nothing to. And they have a feeling, I feel like they know.
They got him with the scan just a little bit, they know they're playing.
Dire's middle tower is under
Standing
attack.
over to the side, you can see already Matumba Man teleporting on in. Swap in for the initiation, they managed to find Fly. Can they burst him down fast enough though, is the question. Yes, they can. Another high five being requested from Nisha.
That was really close actually. Puppey didn't have his dust in his inventory. I saw it come off cooldown the moment after they got that kill. It was really close to him escaping, but that was a cool gank. Haven't seen the early ulti into swap into double stun. That was really awesome, but boy, they almost lost it. But great kill.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And now they're just going to have a brief period of lull, most likely. TA was going for fast blink dagger, and Nisha's already got it picked up. So her damage output isn't going to be as good, but she's just going to be a second version of Monkey King. When they find somebody out of position, both TA and Monkey are jumping in, and they're doing a lot of damage. And against a vulnerable hero like Lina, that's super scary right now. Emo had to buy Yule Scepter as soon as possible. That's going to help him to defend himself if he gets in trouble. But frankly, if he gets swapped out of position, I can't help but think that he's going to die no matter what, because even if you buy yourself a little time, your team's gonna have to back you up somehow to keep you alive.
Gotcha!
Like you said, the way that they jump on Emo, even though he does have that Yule Scepter, there's generally at least one other person, right, participating in these ganks. So even if you buy yourself some more time, he just doesn't have any way to really save himself beyond that.
It's got to be Cold Embrace. It's going to stop physical damage. That'll help a lot against Monkey King and the TA, assuming that your team can like counter-initiate in that 4-second period. And Winter's Curse is another great way, as can be Mars ulti, but there's just so many different angles that are worrisome that it makes it look a little scary to me for IG. And Zai died twice in laning stage, but now he's doing pretty good. He's got his point booster, he's got his first item, stat item of his X, 2k gold, and he's going to have this. And then he's just going to be a super nuisance every fight. You're going to see probably 2 swaps, multiple sets of stuns. a lot of dangerous things for IG to deal with.
Why haven't we been seeing Venge in this offlane position quite as often recently?
There's just stronger heroes is a pretty safe example. Heroes that can win the lane. Venge basically never wins the lane as a 3-position hero unless they like really mess up on the enemy team. So the nice thing about Venge is that you basically have free Aegis. So you can think of like Venge Ags as like being a Wraith King, which is a huge advantage. That's his ultimate, and you can get it with just with an item. So having that advantage is great, but it isn't very good at the laning stage, and that can really get a lot of drafts off to the wrong start if you can't really feel your hero's advantage in those early positions.
So it's just a high risk, high reward kind of setup is what I'm getting.
Yeah, that, and also you have to worry that if they have like a greedy carry, you're going to want to punish that. Otherwise, they're just going to go crazy. And Venge can't really do that as well. It's more of a mid or late game hero.
Kaka standing on the high ground. There's a swap over onto Emo. Immediately trying to keep Emo alive. That double damage on Lucky Second. Sleep comes in. Get the kill on Emo. Follow up with the Winter's Curse. Fight over onto the back lines. Kaka running for his life is going to get punched down by Yapsor. And they'll take down all the Yapsor. Still hunting, wants to get his hands on Fly, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to quite do it, as he does have the Shikuchi up. But they'll happily turn around on the side of Secret and go into the rush with the double damage.
It's so easy for them to do this now, but that was legitimately a 2-shot on Lina. That was a melt strike with a second hit from Nisha. Obviously there was also minus armor from Venge, but that was all about the tumbler toy. The Lina was just playing aggressive, Emo playing aggressive in the mid lane, but that tumbler toy jump with the swap up to the high ground, he had no solution to get out once the stomp was there to follow it up.
I'm gonna make you say that 3 times fast now.
Which part?
Tumbler toy.
Tumbler toy, tumbler toy, tumbler toy. Got anything else?
Emo running now from Yapsor and Nisha. They're hunting, they want this kill, and they will take it.
This is just so cool to see them punish the Lina. It's one of the most feared heroes, frankly, for a couple teams. T1 is another hero that it really stands out for, but Secret was so ready for this draft.
This is not looking good for Fly. Uses the time lapse. To defend the swap, though, again, Zai doesn't seem to care because he knows Tisha's right behind the follow-up with an arena. Will pin Zai off to the side. And IG will get themselves a kill.
Bottom, Machu gonna get a solo kill, pretty sure here.
Oh, Kaka! Can he get out in time? The monkey's got one more hit, and there it is.
Anytime you see a death like that on one side of the map, you're like, yeah, okay, but is Secret getting something else? And I look bottom, Monkey sitting in the trees channeling his ulti. Oh, that's not good for Kaka.
Not good at all.
Especially because he's trying to finish his Blink Dagger. That's usually like a lull moment. Oh, go sit down there. No one's going to be in the area. No, Matumba Man was ready for that one. Punishes Kaka. Still 1,000 gold till he can get Blink and be really active and set up these team fights.
So what's the play now going here for IG? How do they move about this map? How do they get this real estate back? Because it feels like Secret is just fighting them tooth and nail for any inch.
They're being really oppressive, and I think the scariest thing for IG is that Lina is struggling so hard. JT did a great pivot. He stopped his Helm of Iron Will and he went for Blink instead, so he stopped building the armlet, recognizing what they needed. So that part is online, but Emo just looks like such a vulnerability in this game so far. We've all seen in these fights a wave of terror and a little bit of pressure, and he just goes down. And in fact, I almost wish that he had the Arcane Ring on his hero instead. He needs all the armor he can get right now.
Jump over to the mid lane. They spotted Zai. Nisha's here though. Look at the damage. Two hands will take out Kaka, and they're not good. They can't destroy Zai. He's going to be able to just walk away. Emo running for his life. Nisha looking for the opening element. They won't connect. But now Fly joining into the fight. Have to be careful. They'll throw out the dust. Force the Weaver away.
That was so cool. He swaps while the Dragon Slave is mid-air, so he's not there for the fire to get hit.
Uh-oh. Emo. There are monkeys lurking in the trees, and Anisha who wants to cut you into pieces.
I just don't know what they can do about the Monkey King. He's already got Orb of Corrosion. He's got Echo Saber. He's getting pretty close to the Deso, to be honest. They're going to have 2 Desos on their team. That just means that he blows up these low armor heroes. If he ever catches Wyvern or Lion or even Lina without a defensive item or an ally nearby, he's just going to blow them up. And that's the case for both of these cores. And that just makes the game so much easier for Secret, because they just need one of those guys. They're very mobile, plus a support, and they kill almost any hero.
JT has got to be feeling nervous.
He's got Blink.
Does have the Blink. He's just going to get into the corner, teleport out. I'm sure that trap popping probably scared him a little bit. It's like, oh no, is Nisha here? No.
It's a little scary. Or Monkey King.
Well, I mean, Monkey King's got his eyes on a little bug, and monkeys like to eat bugs, Purge. Not going to land the Boundless, though. Enough time to force Fly back.
Oh, he changed his build actually. He went for the Basher instead. I wonder if this is because he recognized they already had a Deso. It's a little bit unsynergistic for you both to purchase it. It would have been good. But Basher's great too. It's going to make it even easier to kill Lina, to kill those supports, to kill Weaver. So I like the pivot here. They're in such a good position. This doesn't bother me at all that he's gone back for a slightly inefficient damage item. It's perfect for the utility.
But I also feel when they're, sitting pretty like they are, it's a little bit easier to be able to make these more creative choices, right? Not necessarily the ones that you're expecting, but the ones that are going to help you seal the victory.
Exactly. It's easy to talk about the what's the 4th, 5th, and 6th items you buy. It's like saying, what are the best 6 items on here? It's all game dependent, and when you're this far ahead, you can really just be flexible and do something that's going to help you close out the game, not necessarily just get ahead. And this is Basher's a great item for that. If they can get a couple crucial pickoffs where normally somebody should be able to defend themselves, it's going to continue the map pressure. And Secret gets a tier 2 tower that's going to open Shrine.
Top lane, though,
advantage.
IG trying to find some movement, trying to just put some pressure over on the tower. They're not feeling confident to go up against them just yet. We still, of course, have 30 seconds on that Aegis of the Immortal, on the TA. Smoke play comes out from IG. They might be looking to make a swing play. Magnum Scepter completed, though, for the Vengeful Spirit. It's going to be a hard fight.
Yeah, the moment he sees anybody, they're getting swapped, and he's fighting to the death.
Yeah, Thor getting into position. Oh, the 3-man balance! Oh, follow up again. From the back line, the whole Matu into place, but he's winding up there for that Wukong. They know they put him down there. It's coming through the takedown. Back at the damn point. Like Swamp coming out now to protect Matu. Has always been left behind. Nisha is godlike.
I really thought that Matu might be in some trouble there, but that 3-man Boundless Strike was incredible. But also fortunate for him that at the same time that came out, Winter Wyvern ends up cold embracing the line. So even though they did disable Matu, he's not able to fall up right away. That hurt IG's defensive play there to try to catch him. They put the burst damage in him, but he survived just too far ahead.
It is getting so spooky for the side of IG. Very little vision up. They still have some towers, right? You've got the top tier 1 over there. Double damage now for Nisha. What is this? His 3rd double damage?
It helps when you control the map, but whatever rune does come up, it is a lot of DDs by all means. There's like, what, 6 power runes it can cycle through? This one's going to be huge. 120 damage right now is his bonus if he gets it. He's got the Grove Bow as well, so his attack range is legitimately like our normal ranged hero. So it makes it even easier to get those pickoffs. And still no Blink Dagger for Kaka on the Lion.
It's definitely struggling, trying to find any opening, but it's one of those situations where his cores need this. They need the farm as well. How do you move about the map? Because every time they show up, it feels like Secret is just there.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about being behind, is that you don't have as much safe places that your core can be like, yeah, you know what, you can just have that one place that's like slightly safe. Instead, it's like those places have to go directly to your core, so they can try to catch up as much as possible. I really like Emo's item pickup. Goes for the Dragon Scale. It's absolutely the right item. He needs as much armor as he can get right now to keep him alive against these heroes, but here comes a possible swap bottom.
Again, they have the dust. Couple hits immediately over on the Fly. He's going to have to time-lapse away. Ollie in position. He's going to try to turn this around. Does have the Winter's Curse. Should be able to take down Puppy, but is going to pay for it with his life. And that's now a Winter's Curse that they don't have to worry about on the side of Secret.
That's true, but any kill they can get right now with being this far behind in gold is going to give them a nice advantage. And that's 260 going to Winter Wyvern, and now he's got a Blink Dagger.
Oh, Emo, do you know what's lurking in the darkness?
Oh, that's really scary.
Look at him. He's just like, something's wrong. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, when TA sits like that, she's prepping a double meld strikes. That's minus 16 armor on top of her Desolator. That's a lot. That's like one shot. Well, it's not going to be one shot, but
do your math.
I guarantee Lina would die in 2 attacks from that. That's like if he gets within 600 units, which is quite a lot right now, death if he doesn't use it in time.
BKB picked up now for Fly. It's going to give him a little bit more survivability, but it is still very difficult, very dangerous, because he's got to make sure that he does not get stun locked before he's able to get off that BKB.
And even then, it's not a game you want to buy BKB, in my opinion. Like, you can stop like Echo Stomp easier, but Vengeful Spirit Swap still goes, and yeah, you'll stop Monkey Stun, but like, if Monkey just gets on top of him, he doesn't care. He's just going to auto attack, slow him with Orb, slow him with Skull Basher, stun him with Skull Basher. But it's just it's an item he has to get this game. There's too much at stake and it's too scary.
I'll say though, you know, both of the cores over on the side of IG have been not making space, but finding the farm, finding the space. If you take a look at just what the net worth's looking, obviously we've got the TA, who's just been balling out of control. 14k, but everyone else is fairly close right behind because they are finding these openings, but looking for the pick-off, the fight, the advantage on the side of IG as they are smoked up and they're making their way over towards the Roche pit. Zai is, I don't think, the person they want, but they're gonna have to take it. So they'll over with the stun, they'll fall off the finger. Can they do it? There goes the Witcher. Zai, all right, comes right back, gonna get the Witcher's curse, holding in place. Tasa Stomp going in, Nisha will take down Ollie. There's they're coming through. Ti10 cannot survive this. He's going to be the next one to fall. As they'll turn around, another spawn though coming out. It's all right. It's a vengeful spirits of the illusion. It's absolutely fine. As they'll go right back, try to put the pressure over onto the mid lane.
Man, all of that, and they only killed one hero. They had to kill Venge twice. They almost killed Monkey, but that defensive swap was huge. And after that fight, I was thinking the same thing as Matamba. And, you know, maybe it's time for a BKB. That was a little too scary for him. If he has BKB, he can definitely continue fighting there. But in that moment, it looked like a big weakness for Secret. But either way, that's the advantage that Secret wants. Put the Venge way in the front. Let the enemy jump on him, and he just gets to make the team fight pretty decent for them, whilst the rest of Secret rolls over and takes a 5v5.
How do you position yourself in these fights, right? Because obviously,
Radiant are scanning.
so obviously, like Zai has just been running at them because he is the initiator. It's definitely at the point where, you know, they're not as afraid to take these fights because they do have the backup. Elder Titan, an incredible hero for this sort of thing. But for IG, it just feels like they can't quite figure out how to get around. How do you get around the defensive wall that is, of course, Zai here?
It's very difficult. The best thing they would go for, obviously, is a blink disable kills on either TA or Monkey King if they can catch them. And this is part of the reason Matamba Man's playing trees right now, because he can basically kill a creep wave every boundless strike. Once he hits 20, that cooldown goes down a lot, and then it's even easier for him to do it. So he knows that he's the obvious kill right now. So until he gets BKB, he's not going to feel very comfortable being aggressive on the map, and that's why Secret's playing a little bit carefully right now. If they just keep the net worth about even, and then he gets BKB, the game's going to get... It's going to feel like very, very, very winnable.
Oh, look at this, the swap immediately, just going to get rid of Kaka. He's going to buy a bit more time. Nice echo stomp, all against position. He wants to try to find the opening. He's not going to be able to do it. Fly with the BKB now. Buyback coming out from line. They'll turn their attention to get over onto the Winter Fire because he's going to fall next. Ollie will fall, swap out again though. This ass on the bench doing so much work. Boundless cuts it. Kaka's not looking very good right now. They get a nice arena. Do they have the damage though? They have the BKB. They turn it back around. Emo, he's not looking like he's going to survive. The thing gets taken out. Nisha just chipping away over at JT. That's a dead Mars, and it's looking like a dead Fly. If they can just get their hands on him, and it doesn't matter. They have the spirit.
Zai got 2 kills in that fight with a Wave of Terror. That was pretty sick. First picks off Fly, but ultimately amazing fight. They got separated a little bit. It looked a little bit rough for Secret, but Zai just swaps out any danger. Matu gets a great ulti to set up and guarantee the Lina kill, and this is that advantage that Secret got. BKB's online. Zai's going to respawn here on his illusion, ready to go. Despite everybody on IG being dead. Here's a clip once again. Swap instantly on Kaka. So important so that he can't disable those important heroes. BKB gets used on Fly so that Zai can't really grab the guy he wants necessarily. But that's okay, because he's just buying time and getting vision for his team. Oh, they lived a little bit longer than I expected there, but swapping in the TA. He gets speared back, but a lot of damage reduction. There's Lion coming back again, but he gets cleaned up.
JT trying to force him out of the base. Important to note, they owe the swap from Zai. Emo trying to just run away unless they connect. They get a kill on Zai, but he's back up again. He's got that Ags. Matamba Man, Echo Stomp landing the swap again into the boundless, into the burst damage. That's known as Nisha with the follow-up with the Witcher's Curse. This is not looking good for them right now. They'll be able to take that Matu. Follow-up with an arena. IG, they're coming back up swinging. They're trying to get them out of their base, but they don't have the positioning. They don't have that damage. The Hex coming out again over on the side of the TA. They need to put out more. Can they do it? Fly with the BKB chasing him down. He has to turn back around the punch. He's going perhaps a bit too far. He's going to get held into the trees with that spear. And Nisha and Poppy and Zai are just going to run the heck out.
IG would not let Secret leave the base. The Rax was already gone, but they sensed a momentum shift there that they could pressure their opponents. With that said, some of that was Zai as well. He kept the fight going as well. Swapping offensively, ultimately maybe costing them a bit because Monkey King ended up dying there. But if we take a look at the net worth advantage, 14,000 gold advantage for Secret. And frankly, a lot of that was from buybacks. A ton of that came from the IG side.
That was definitely IG very angry that they were cracking their base and simultaneously taking Roshan.
It's tough for them to catch up, but they got to take those opportunities, and when the enemy team's in your base, that's one way.
Little cheeky play there.
No regen for you, but there's a Scotty on Templar Assassin.
Oh my word.
An excellent item against any ranged cores. That means Lina, that means Weaver. And that's why I picked this up.
Oh, they have the vision. We saw that swap coming from a mile away. Another one bites the dust.
And that means they're going to keep pressuring. They don't want to give them any time to get stuff done. So they will go high ground. Zai does not have buyback. That means he can only die twice in this fight, except for 3 times. The big disadvantage there for Zai.
Wow, Zai, really?
Yeah.
Really, dude?
Look at this damage from low ground.
They can't even get anywhere near it. I mean, they have a Wyvern, right? The Wyvern at least will be able to push out these waves, but Nisha just does not care.
Can't cold embrace the buildings, and they're just going to fall. Good luck fighting this. They got 2 minutes on Aegis.
JT already looking for initiation. We'll jump over onto the Tia to follow up. Okay, they'll get the heal. The swap, they're coming up from Zai, buying enough time, but they do a lot of damage over onto this Monkey King. They take that Montu. They take that Montu. JT throwing up the arena. Doesn't want to let Zai go. Zai's going to come back up again. That's life number 2. They give it to the puppy. And we're into the arena. Yapzor's back, though. Anisha clicking away. Fly. He's trying to get out. Oh, look at the damage. They take that all. Anisha is mad fighting everyone. They get the kill on Kaka. JT on the low ground. He can't get back into his home. And they're going to take down Fly too.
That looks so good for IG. They end up partially initiating, forcing Secret to group up, and that's when they hit him with the winner's curse, guaranteeing the Matu kill. But all of a sudden, Nisha sends blood in the water. He jumps up, gets the backline with the supports, and even briefcase down the Weaver on the low ground. And I think this is about the end of this game here. Almost everybody is dead, and Zai's going to be up in 50 seconds. I mean, they're only missing Monkey King at the moment.
There is no buyback on any of these heroes. They are coming up though. The Winter Wyvern's going to be back up. So is the Lion. They just call it. They called it. They just don't want to deal anymore with what Secret's got going for them.
It's way too hard for IG to play this deficit because they'd have to engage with 2 supports in Lina. Lina hasn't felt strong all game. Ever since those early laning stage ganks, the supports, they had great abilities, but like, how are you going to engage on a TA that's attacking your tier 4 towers from 600 units away? They have no option there without their cores up. So, wow, what a play.
Definitely very impressive. I would say also that this felt a lot like the Zai show. I don't know if that's the same feeling that you got off of this.
They all played so good, honestly. Those early ganks were huge, though. Zai played great. Matu won his lane and rotated successfully. Like, as they played